am on location. What do you think I am?
Are you substitute teaching?
I am. Can you tell me the way I'm dressed? I'm actually in beautiful Las Vegas at a conference.
Wait, are you in Las Vegas or is Orfanos in Las Vegas?
Is he out here too? Let me go check the local jails, man. Holding cells. If Orfanos is here, that's where I'll find him. No, I'm definitely here, as you can see. Got a pool behind me.
Yeah.
Let's take a little ski.
That circus, I see a little Wynn.
This is the Wynn. I am at the Wynn today.
Wynn and Encore.
Yes. Is the Encore? Yeah, right there. That's your baby. Yeah, that's a lot of money out there, I'll tell you.
Well, those buildings weren't built because of all the winners out there.
That's right. Although it's funny how they named it. It's called the Wynn Hotels, right?
Yeah. So, what's the meeting out there? What are you learning?
This is the Assembia Specialty Pharmacy annual conference, AXS 25. Specialty pharmaceuticals are all those things that you, all the medications to treat people with, rare, difficult diseases. Oncology, cystic fibrosis, a lot of pediatric meds. But it's really just kind of where the industry is today. A lot of talk about how generative AI is impacting not only the manufacturing and distribution of the medication, but a lot of great information coming out from. And one update I got today was from Wolfgang Paul. It has been made official that he is now the new, drum roll please, drummer for the band ARRA. He posted that out there today. So hooray, hooray, congratulations to Wolfgang.
Congrats, Wolfie, but that's been out for a while. What are you talking about?
Well, the official announcement. It was there was some conversation about it, but the band hadn't made an official announcement until today. And he is the new rightful owner of the ARRA throne. His first show with ARRA will be, I believe, May 16th at Hideaways in Hoffman Estates. But we will confirm that. Put that right here.
What about having Wolfie on?
You know what? Actually, Wolfie, Tyler, and Kevin from ARRA have all reached out to me and said they want to participate. I know we're pretty backed up. We've got a log of participants almost, I think that's said till September. So maybe we can do a little negotiation and jostle the calendar around and get some ARRA love on the Hog Podcast.
Here's Rhodesy.
Hey, Elise.
Hi guys. Sorry about that.
Did you doodle yourself up just for us? You got lipstick on and looking all pretty.
It's actually a filter.
Oh, really? I
don't have real lipstick on. I don't know if it shows or if it'll follow me. But I was gonna do funny sunglasses, but I thought lipstick was more appropriate.
Rhodesy, how am I looking?
Rhodes,
you're looking good. Everybody's looking good. Look at Mike D there. Looking sharp, brother. Oh, there's the win.
He's in Schaumburg at a teachers conference for substitute teachers.
That's right.
Is that the win behind you?
What's that?
Is that the win?
I am at the Win. Yes, at the Encore. I'm at the Assembia Specialty Pharmacy Conference, AXS 25. It sounds like a rock concert. The AXS 25. It's a tour, baby. And for Chris and Elise, I know this is your first time. We will edit a lot of this garbage out, so don't worry about it.
Maybe.
Okay, you can tell the world that I'm using a lipstick filter. I'm okay with that.
So who knows Elise, Mike? The other? Rhodesy.
I do.
I know Elise. Rhodesy knows Elise.
Rhodesy, why don't you? Thank you for showing up, Chris. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
You're my favorite drummer right now. Why don't you tell us who we have here? Why I try to help Mike Orfanos come and join the show?
Well, I've been thinking all afternoon of what videos you should show of Elise, and I'll tell you what, I've been fortunate being part of the Coterie, and every song, and there's a couple other things we've done together, but every time Elise picks a song, I make sure I try to get on it. She is amazing. But if we're going to do a video for Elise to open up, it's got to be that Queensryche song. that is just insane.
But I think, yes, she's participated in Coterie events, absolutely. However, Elise was quite the singer before we found, she came and visited us at Coterie.
Yeah.
Elise did front the all-female Black Sabbath band, Sabatha. She was Ronnie James' Diva before, when I met her about 4 years ago. So, yeah, her talents were definitely known amongst the heavy metalers. Back when did we meet, Elise? 2020? 2021, I want to say?
Yeah, maybe 2021.
2021, when I came out to see you at, what was the place out in Lombard?
Powerhouse.
The Brower House, that's right. You were rocking that show out. And to Chris's point, absolutely floored. As soon as I heard the Dio voice come jump out of you, I was like, holy diver, that was amazing. And now you've left Sabatha, and now you are fronting the all metal My Metal Heart band with all the bald rockers in the Chicagoland area.
Is this true?
It is. It is true.
Elise, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Heavy Metalers, that'd be a great name for a rock and roll band of a bunch of in-laws.
I like it.
Heavy metal in all my affairs.
Meddlers. Oh.
Did I just make that term up? Heavy meddlers?
Heavy meddler.
Heavy meddlers. Stay off my lawn. Stay out of my business and stay off my lawn.
I think Mike Orfanos is swimming around here somewhere.
Yep, there he is.
Hey!
Lost but not forgotten.
It's introducing Elise. Mike gave his shot. Rhodesy gave his shot. You want to give a shot?
I'll give a shot. Elise is, I believe, one of the top female vocalists in the Chicagoland area. She has got a tremendous range. She can sing anything from heavy metal to Motown to R&B to soul. And
you can also do theater. I've heard you do some theater and some musical at times.
I was just going to say Les Miserables, I think it was.
Les Miserables, yes.
Les Miserables.
Yeah.
But, good. She's an unbelievable talent, and I'm happy to have shared the stage with her on a couple Coterie events, and love watching her with My Metal Heart.
Now, that was an introduction. What do you think? That was the best one.
I'm flattered. Thank you all very much. It's always, it never gets old hearing that you're great, I guess, but sometimes it's hard to hear, right? Hard to hear it. I'm very grateful to all the compliments that you all just shared. Thank you very much.
Well deserved.
You're young. What the hell are you doing with Dio?
I'm not that young. It's a facade. It's the lipstick filter. Let's zoom in. It's not, I'm not that young. I'll be 40 this year, so I'm having a little bit of a midlife crisis, I think. But I've been kind of in music my whole life. I've been singing since I was little. My mom is really into things like Carole King and oldies, Motown, that kind of stuff. And my dad is really into kind of more like classic rock, a bit more like the Styx, Kansas, Chicago kind of vibe. So I grew up with that kind of mixture, and then I have two older sisters. So every guy they dated, every type of music, whatever they liked for the season, was kind of put in front of me, and I just always just gravitated to whatever sounded great. So I don't sit in one genre. I don't have a favorite. My favorite to perform is metal. Hence the reason I've been in metal bands. There's just something to it. There's more of the theatrics. There's more of the production aspect of it that I really love. But musically, I just really love everything. From Celine Dion to Black Sabbath to Killswitch Engage to
Donny Osmond. I'm in Vegas. He's all over. Are you into Donny Osmond?
I love everything. So.
Do you know what a cassette tape is?
I do. I'm not that.
You know what an 8-track?
How about an 8-track?
There you go.
I wasn't going there, boys.
But I wasn't using them. In fairness.
They weren't good.
No, they weren't good.
I have a CD player in my car still, so I don't know if that gives me any credibility, but
But you don't have a Walkman, correct?
I did when I was a kid. I did.
Whoa,
So,
all right.
yeah, I
Wow,
know what a VCR is, you know.
Beta?
I know what it means to try to record, a TV show on a VCR.
Laserdisc? Laserdisc?
Sometimes. I don't know. No, that might be before my time.
So these different brands that you're working with, you're doing Sabbath and all the hard rock. Go through the progression. Like, how did you get into that? Thank goodness you're doing that instead of like Linda Ronstadt. No offense.
What?
I love Linda Ronstadt, so just in fairness, I'm
Really
not,
noted.
no knocks to that. Blue Bayou is a fantastic song. But overall, I guess, I mean, I always was into metal, like from the time I was a teenager, and I started like getting into kind of the more new metal, like so Slipknot, System of a Down, Kitty, that kind of stuff. And then I've always been singing, but I never like merged those two things because I always never thought that metal was my forte vocally. So I was in choir and musical theater and karaoke, nothing really. But then a regular from a bar that I used to manage and bartend at asked me if I wanted to do a Black Sabbath or like a 80s metal rock cover band. And I was like, really? You think that would work? I don't know if it would work. I don't know if I'm gonna sound very good doing Ozzy. And he's like, well, let's just try it. So that was actually my first band. It was called Pedal to the Metal. It was me and four guys. Very similar mix to what's happening right now in My Metal Heart. A lot of repeat songs, same vein, Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, Dio, Iron Maiden, with like little sprinkles of like Led Zeppelin and that kind of stuff. And that was fun for a while, but they didn't really want to play out. So I got to a point where I had been doing it for a year with them and was like, well, now I'm dying to do this. So I just like randomly one day posted my photo on a Chicago musicians page on Facebook, and the original drummer of Sabatha reached out and asked me would I want to be in an all-female Black Sabbath band, and I was like, fuck yeah. How do I get there? And so it was during COVID times, so it was interesting. We practiced at her house, and it was really under the wraps for a while. They were under the wraps for about a year before they found me, because it was during that time, and everybody was kind of, chilling and distancing. And then I'm pretty sure they auditioned maybe one or two girls before me. And then I auditioned, and actually at my audition for Sabatha, I got bit by her pit bull when I first walked in. She's like, he's real friendly. I was like, okay, great. And I'm
It was
like,
a
all
dub.
like, Dovey on
Does
the
your
dog.
dog bite? I did not my dog.
No, a
And then he
dub.
bit me, and I was like, what the fuck? I mean, what an icebreaker, right?
No, an
For
icebreaker is biting that off of a.
But I gotta tell you, that is the most heavy metal freaking tryout I've ever heard. I mean, had you gotten bit by a bat or you did a bat, would probably compete with that. But you got bit by a pit
it
bull
was
at your tryout, you got the
it
gig.
was like so nerve-wracking, right? Like you're going to audition, you're going to meet people, you don't know where you are. It was in the middle of nowhere, like Wonder Lake. I live in Tinley Park. So for me, I was like sending people the address, like if I don't come back home, this is where I've been for the last few hours. I don't know if this is Silence of the Lambs or what's going on here. So but yeah, I get there, I'm already nervous to audition, and then the dog bites me, and I was just like, well, and they were really impressed. They had me do a second audition. They wanted to see what I was like on stage. In all honesty, before now, if you saw me then and you saw me now, I'm a very different performer. I've grown pretty rapidly in terms of like how to work a stage. It was my first real go at it when I was joining Sabbath or auditioning for them. I had quite an experience with them. I kind of helped manage the band. I booked the band. I marketed the band. I did all the artwork, all the flyers, all the stuff. all the social media. I basically kind of was, kind of running the band simultaneously with the lead guitarist, who's phenomenal. By the way, if you ever get a chance to see her or watch any of the videos from Sabatha, it's pretty incredible stuff. We were doing Ozzy and Dio as well, so her Randy Rhodes is very impressive. And we had quite a few different personnel changes through the duration, just different motivations, different wants and needs out of the band. Played quite a few shows. We got to play Rockfest, which was pretty awesome. The headliners for that show were Jelly Roll and Shinedown, but I mean, national bands like Killswitch Engage. I mean, it's one of my all-time favorite bands. My band was on the same bill. It was kind of a cool moment. Yeah, life changes, things change, aspirations change. And I really I wasn't sure like how long I want to do this, right, in my life, or how long I can, or you never know what happens. And I really wanted to explore some other things, and showcase what I really can do. As much as I was able to sing Dio, Ozzy doesn't really showcase my vocal abilities as much, especially in a performance aspect. So now I'm doing things like Queensryche and Iron Maiden and Heart, things that really are a bit more challenging, exciting, and I get to kind of show off a little bit. I'm definitely not full of myself, I guess. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but like there's always room to grow and be better and become a better musician. And I think that's why I really like keep exploring with benefit shows and doing the Coterie and just like all these recording projects I'm working on right now, just involving different musicians from different pockets of my life. I learned through the Sabatha changes of personnel, like how much just a different grouping every time is something different, and it creates something so different. And it creates something so different in a vocalist too. What's pushing and who's excited and who's not, and the vibe of the music. So I feel like that's how I grew so much in my performance over the years, but I also feel like there's just so much music out there, right? There's so many beautiful songs, there's so many amazing moments and things to try to dabble in. So
how many years were you in Sabatha for? How many years?
I joined at the end of 2020. And I left last July.
And that led you to My Metal Heart. What was the audition process like with that?
That was kind of funny and interesting too. I was actually asked or like kind of poached a little bit. I won't rat him out too much, but Volpe.
Are you talking about Dan Volpe? No, he's notorious for that. No. Everyone knows his reputation. Yeah, he's the guy that'll go to a show. He'll go to a show, and if he likes the set, he will steal the set list off the band's stage.
Really?
And then he'll take it back. Oh, he's notorious for that.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Oh yeah, he's a poacher. But go ahead, keep talking.
Give him shit for that.
We'll edit that out.
Do not edit that. Leave that out there.
Yeah, leave it. It's great. I love it. I love it.
Mike's getting a call later.
Yeah.
I get him all the time. I'm an honest guy. Go ahead, Elise. I apologize.
No, you're fine. That's hilarious. Please keep that. I love it. No, I was practicing for the Coterie Metal show, and I don't actually know what song I was doing at the time, but it was pretty funny. I was the only girl. Well, I was the only girl vocalist. My old guitarist from Sabatha was the other female that was in the show, playing guitar.
Just on record, her name is Paula. You keep referring to your guitarist.
I know. I'm sorry. Paula Jasper is her name.
Paula.
Yeah, she's phenomenal. She also plays jazz guitar and Van Halen. I mean, she's awesome. Whatever. I can't say enough about how amazing she is. But aside from that, so yeah, I was practicing for the Coterie Metal thing, and I was, like I said, one of the only two girls in the entire building, and I was singing, and it was in a room, like in a kind of, practice rehearsal room, very small. And every guy that was there, like, forced their way kind of into the room while it was happening. Like, just kind of shuffled in and we're like standing by the doorway or looking over each other through the doorway, like, what's happening? Who's that? Because it was like the first time they had ever heard me sing. And I mean, that felt really good, but it was also really funny because afterwards it was like, so what band are you in? Are you looking for another band? Do you want to do an original project? Like, so many people were randomly, like coming up to me and talking to me about it. But Volpe specifically was like, my band's looking for a singer and you'd be kind of a good fit. Would you be interested? And I was like, no, I got my hands full of Sabatha because I was doing everything for the band and really did not have the time or the, capacity to even like think about two bands. I also work full time. I go to school full time and I'm married. So, life. I take care of my mom part time also. So really busy. I have a stacked schedule all the time. Was like, yeah, I'm not really interested. And then as time went on, I don't know, I was starting to feel like, right, I want to just explore some new things, maybe see what I could do, push my limits with my voice and that kind of thing. And I reached out to Volpe and I was like, are you guys still looking? And he was like, yeah, we really haven't found anybody that's stuck yet. He's like, I'm like, I don't know if I really want to do it yet. I'm kind of just like, maybe. And he's like, well, why don't you just come and jam and see how it goes, see how it feels. If you like us, if we like you, maybe it's not even a good fit anyways, and we don't even have to worry about it. And I was like, okay, good call. I went to audition. I didn't get bit by a dog or anything. Nothing tragic like that, but it was at a daycare, so totally heavy metal too. The other guitarist, Mike, was not there. He was away or something. So it was kind of like a semi-trial anyways, because it wasn't the full band. I had an ear infection. I was gonna cancel, but I'm like, I don't like to cancel anything if I can make my way through it. So it wasn't my best vocally, but I was honest about it, and I don't know, they were kind of like blown away. I mean, they had me sing a bunch of songs that weren't on the list that were just like, they're all like, hey, I got a guilty pleasure song. Would you want to do this? Can we do this? Let's try this. And we threw out like maybe 5 or 6 songs that weren't on the original audition list. And we all just kind of jived. Buckley, the bassist, him and I have a very similar, I guess, eclectic music taste, from everything. And so he was really excited about like possibilities of mashups or, mixing and mashing things, or maybe doing a night where we're not doing all metal and we're doing something else and just playing around with what it could mean with me as the singer. So he was really pumped. Mark, the drummer, he likes to sing and likes to harmonize a lot. So he was really excited about, being able to blend with my voice. My range is kind of from a high soprano to about a medium alto. I mean, I jump around and fluctuate, and I have no idea where I'm at, and I don't know what note or chord I'm in ever. I can't read music, and don't know, just whatever feels comfortable. One of the notes in the chord somewhere is what I land on. So anybody that can harmonize, I'm very grateful to them kind of just following my pattern.
We were talking about auditions. Does anybody even know how to do an audition? Like, if you're a band, you're missing somebody, inviting somebody to come in, do you give them a whole bunch of songs and you just spot check a couple, or you say these are 2 or 3? I'm not just asking you, Elise, everybody else on the panel, what is the right way to do an audition? Because what it comes down to is when it's all said and done, it's like, I like her.
Well, either way, I just went through it with our keyboard player. So we wanted to have him do like maybe 5 songs. So we gave him 5 songs, and he said, give me the list. So we gave him the list, and he just wanted to keep burning through the songs. I think we ended up doing like 15 or 20 songs. I mean, he just said, yeah, let's try that. Yeah, let's try that. And every time he tried it, he figured out what it was. He did have notes from the previous keyboard player who gave him all the notes for the song. So all he did was pulled up the song. As long as he knew it, he knew what to do. And that was our audition. And we didn't really go and hunt out a bunch of keyboard players. We settled on one guy, and he had a good personality. He gelled well, and, he was busting balls with us, the first day of practice, which is what we want, somebody who's not uptight and they can mesh well with the rest. So it worked.
Yeah. We always did a little differently. Now, Friction, we had a few different drummers, and I know we had a couple different guitars, but it's a requirement for the new musician to come in and take the existing members out on a 3-day vacation. They have to pay for everything, just even that whole bonding thing, steak dinner, a little gambling, what. No, in all seriousness, Mike, I guess we followed the same format. Rhodesy, you kind of went through this with me and Doug Schoenbeck on a project that we were working on, where we took 5 songs, but they were 5 very different songs, different time signature, tempo, kind of the energy. Maybe one was a little more dance. Even one might have been a little country, I think, was in there. But what we were trying to do is really just kind of get a feeling for one, how he would approach the songs, and then what we do is we flip it on him too. Here's the 5 songs we want you to learn. And oh, by the way, do you know the 6th song? Let's give it a shot. Just to kind of throw that pop quiz out at them to see how they are on the fly. Because a lot of times what happens when you're playing cover music, you're always going to get that 1 or 2 people that are going to come up and ask for a request. And we hope that people can play the music on the fly. So personality, definitely important, but I think then really give them a different set to kind of different types of music genres, if you will. Elise, I don't know if that's what happened with you, but
for My Metal Heart, it was a little different because we weren't certain we were gonna actually audition. It was kind of more of a let's jam thing. So they just sent me their set list, and I sent them my Sabatha set list. It was kind of like a happy medium between. We just added a few from both. But that's why then when I got there, it was like, let's keep. How about this? Or do you know this? Or how about this? And we tried to go through a few songs that we shouldn't have also, but that happens. When we were looking for a drummer for Sabatha for quite a while, and that's really hard to do. I'm going to be honest with you. Finding a female drummer that can play Black Sabbath.
Put one of those filters on Rhodesy and a wig, and you're good to go.
Yeah, let's just add the lipstick filter. It'll work.
Yeah, just got to identify as a woman, right?
But yeah, seriously, Black Sabbath's not, an easy task. It's not an easy ask. And doing Ozzy and Dio also, right? There's it's a tall order. So finding a female that was very solid or in personality, no drama, no nonsense, reliable, all those things is really hard. So we did, right, give one really hard Ozzy song, a kind of everybody should know Ozzy song, like A Crazy Train, right? Same thing with Black Sabbath. So War Pigs is the hard song, Paranoid is the easy song, or easier, you know what I mean? And then, same thing with Dio, right? It's of course we're gonna play Holy Diver, but let's see, how do you play on something like Straight Through the Heart? So we would give both and kind of let's see how you are on the lower end, on the easy, everybody knows it, so you should know it and we should be able to pound through, and then on the more complex stuff. So I think that's kind of what most bands do, is just like Mike was saying, give them a little bit of, so you can see their personality too, the upbeat stuff, the kind of more
the 3-day weekend. It works really well. Hey, listen, folks, I need to drop. My connection's getting bad, and I have to get back to my conference. Elise, it was great seeing you. Gentlemen, nice
hey, how was Comic-Con? Are you at the Saved by the Bell?
Hey, everybody, I'll let you know. I have no idea. Is that going on right now?
Furry convention?
You're there, so it can't be going on, Pete. You trickster, you. You guys take care.
Bye, Mike.
So, and back to the auditions, just to make mention, Chris Rhodes is our backup drummer for the Misquitos, and he actually didn't really have an audition process either. You want to talk a little bit about that, Rhodes?
Yeah, how do you do it for a drummer specifically? Yeah,
it basically it kind of went down similar to what Elise said. I mean, you guys gave me a set list, and then I just basically started working my way through it as soon as I got it. And sometimes you get lucky, like Elise said, you already know some of the stuff, or you've already performed it, or you try to stick to that kind of stuff. And then if you can, you want to try it, if it's a band you really want to impress, then you put in a little extra time and pick up a few extra songs to show them that, you're dedicated, you know, and to your craft, and you're going to be dedicated to that band. So, I mean, most of the bands that I have auditioned for usually ranges between 3 and 5 songs. For some reason, they don't like to throw a lot at you. It could be a time thing. You know, I know that when I auditioned for a certain band that Elise is in right now, there was like staggered drummers throughout the day. So we all kind of had a time slot. You know, so one drummer's leaving, one drummer's coming in, one drummer's leaving, another drummer's coming in. So I think that's pretty much common. Get them all done in the same day if you can.
I was going to ask Mikey Dermont, but he had to get back to the Saved by the Bell Comic-Con. If how you can sing really well, but how do you determine if somebody has that it to work the crowd on the stage? You know what I mean? To connect with the crowd. How do people figure that out, Bongo Mike? Because you've had different singers. You got an awesome one. How did that process go?
I think to Elise's point, you know, I think there's a comfort level that you have to have with getting up in front of people and being comfortable on stage, comfortable with eye contact with the audience, and being able to work the crowd, really. I mean, Jill, I can say that when, Jill first joined the Misquitos, I think she was a little intimidated at first, even though she has a great vocal range and she could sing the hell out of the songs. I think it took a little bit of time before she got comfortable in being up there and performing. And I think you're constantly learning. I don't think you ever are completely comfortable 100%, right? You're just, I mean, everyone I think gets those jitters right before you're ready to get on stage. You've got an audience out there that's watching your every move, and like Elise, you're the front person, right? I mean, yeah, they're watching Dan and they're watching Mark and they're watching the other guys in My Metal Heart, but she's the focal point, right? They're keying in on her. And so she's got to walk the stage. She's got to look at people. She's got to, put emotion behind those songs. And she does a fabulous job. And I think that's how, I don't think you'd ever stop learning, because, I think even just for me, there's sometimes I get a little nervous. I'm on stage for whatever reason, and maybe after 2 or 3 songs, I kind of loosen up a little bit, but, a couple of shots will help that.
I'll say, that's really an interesting point, because when I joined I'm not shy. I was playing Ozzy in my old band, and then I came to My Metal Heart, and I'm pretty sure Rhodes, you were at the first show. Were you, Mike?
Yep. Oh yeah.
It was.
I
was at the one at Sundance when you guys.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if that was the first.
I think the first was
that was later. Yeah, but Rhodes, you were at the first show that when I was with My Metal Heart. And I mean, I'm sure he can kind of attest to this. I was pretty shy, or calmer, or more reserved. I was standing still most of the night. I was really uncertain about things. You know what?
Chill.
Yeah, absolutely. I was kind of nervous, feeling out the new fans. It's also for that too. They, were following a singer in this band for a long time, so it's how are they going to feel about me, or how are they going to feel about this? Or, we added some new music that's not what they were doing before. And how's this going to go? It was my first night singing with in-ear monitors too, ever, live. So it was a lot of different components of understanding my sound, understanding the room, understanding the band. How does the band jive live too? I mean, it's there's so many things. Now I feel like I finally have gotten, comfortable with them now, for a while. But I'm just saying, in the beginning with them, it was still a whole new wheelhouse, even though I'm not shy. I mean,
your evolution from show 1 to where you're at now, I mean, you own it now. I mean, it's My Metal Heart is your band.
Oh my goodness.
I've seen you a lot, and like I said, the progressions that you've made are just truly amazing.
And isn't it really kind of a dance too, right? Like you said, gelling with the other four members of that band. You're up on stage, and how are they reacting with the crowd? How's their performance, and how's that gel with what you're doing? That takes time. It's not instantaneous.
Yeah. The one guitarist, Mike, he's the only one that doesn't sing or talk on the mic. No pun intended. But he's the only one that is not doing, is not engaging with the audience that way throughout the whole performance. And in the beginning, when I first joined the band, I was like, guys, like sometimes when I'm rocking, I just need you to rock with me, even if you're not feeling it. Just pretend like you're feeling it, just so, because I'm feeding off you too. And there's just so much happening, and there's not like, I need just whatever you got.
Hold on, speak to that. When you're going at it and you're like leaning over and then the bassist is just
sometimes, or they're in the zone, right? Like, and they're just playing and they're looking down and they're not engaging with you or the audience. And it's like, so I just like, come underneath them. I am here, like, fucking look at me, look at the audience, let's rock out, let's something. And you can get people to get there, and then there's some people that you could be in a band with them for a long time, and it takes a lot to get them to break or to get them to open up that way. It's like partially, it's their own like inhibitions too. It's not you. It's not like, I don't take it personally, especially in the middle of a show. Nothing's personal. Everything's crazy. It's live and everybody's watching you, right? So you just gotta make it, trying to get them to engage or whatever. And now Mike, who used to kind of just chill and sit to himself and play to himself and real calm and quiet and cool collected, now he's going out in the crowd with his wireless and playing in the middle of crowds. And I'm excited for that, because that makes me excited that he took that note and now he's like owning his own moments. I'm not singing in that moment. Nobody cares about me. They care about the solo he's playing for Mr. Crowley. So it's exciting to watch everybody like kind of give him some attention too,
Well, in relation to being comfortable on stage, can you ever think of a time when maybe something wasn't going right on stage? Maybe there was an issue with your monitors or the sound kind of threw you off your game a little bit. What did you do to kind of get through that, to keep the performance going and not let it disturb your, what you're doing on stage? Have there ever been an instance like that?
Yeah, sure. There's been many times where I can't hear myself. So in the old band, it didn't really matter as much. I mean, I could kind of make my way through a lot of the Ozzy stuff. I mean, I don't want to say it was easy because it's not easy, but in my vocal pocket, it's fairly easier for me.
Yeah.
Singing Queensryche and Iron Maiden nonstop all night is a lot more difficult. There's a lot more stamina required vocally. So it's like, if I can't hear myself, I don't know what's coming out. I don't know. Yeah. And I'm pushing. Now I'm dried out in my throat. Now how does the rest of the night go? So I don't even remember where we were, but my monitors were going in and out, like just pop, like every other word I could hear. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. The guys are like, oh, just take one out. I was like, what the hell's that going to help? I'm going to hear it one in and out in one ear. What the fuck? That's not going to help me. So they had somebody come up on stage, try to mess with the sound. It was still messed up. And I just was like, listen, can you just put a monitor on the stage? I'll just deal with no in-ears. I don't care. Just as long as I can hear myself. I just really can't hear anything. And it's driving me crazy. But in the moment, when it's happening and you're in the middle of the song, all of this happened after the song was over, of course, right? Like in the middle of the song while it's happening, you're just like, well, you got to make it happen. So I usually like take those opportunities to kind of play vocally. What I mean by that is like maybe try something different that I don't typically do, that I know I can hear or that I can feel comfortably and know is in like a proper note and not something weird that I can't control because I can't hear it. or hear how it's reverberating in the room. Sometimes like just not being able to hear the room itself is very hard for me. I hate in-ear monitors for that reason.
It's different, a different
It
feel.
is.
I actually asked for a backup monitor because, to what Elise just said, I played with a band that used tracks, and same problem. It's like in and out, in and out. But I did pop one out, and the reason why I think I had success is because I had a monitor on the floor next to me.
Yeah. So the last 5, ever since that happened, I have a monitor there just in case. And then the last like 5 or 6 shows, I've just said, guys, listen, I'm not using monitors. You do whatever the hell you want. I'm not.
Yeah.
I play better. I sing better. I perform better because I can hear the crowd.
Yeah.
You know, I headbang a lot in the band. I mean, my hair is really long. You know, it's all blurred out, but I have very, very long hair. So yeah, this mop flies all over the stage, all day, all night. So when I'm not singing, I'm typically trying to do something, you know, jumping around, pointing at people, getting involved, or headbanging. And when I'm under my massive hair and I'm doing cool stuff, like I'll swirl my hair, I'll do all kinds of different stuff. If I don't hear people, you know, because I have in-ear monitors in, I can't see anyone cheering. It's like it's exhausting, right? But if I'm under there and I'm swirling my hair and I can hear everybody like,
you're in the zone.
Then I'm like, nah, let me see how many more I got. You know, let's see how many times I could go before I fall over and I'm dizzy, you know? And it's like it's just that kind of excitement that like it lends itself to the whole show, you know, the whole time. And I hate not being able to connect with people. Like that's the point of doing it live. Otherwise, I don't know why they just record it or do it at home or do it karaoke, right? Like the point is to kind of, I don't know, make music with people and, you know, create new memories.
Speaking of memories, is there any greater joy than to see a bunch of people recording you with the phones?
I don't know. Yeah, it's something.
Well, I mean, it's like if you got a song you're going to try out, to me, I was just, how many people are recording it? You know,
Yeah.
that would be the ultimate, you know, a compliment.
It is. I'll say that means a lot more to me when I'm doing like the Coterie shows. And the reason why is because those are not songs I'm doing all the time. So it says more, I guess, about the performance because it's not so rehearsed, it's not so ingrained. It's like I practice it once with these people that I'm never gonna play with again. It's a one-time thing. It's, you know, it's like so, I don't know, it's like so fast, it's over. You know, you learn the song, you practice it once, you play it once, it's over. And so like when people are out in the crowd, like really excited or really engaged in recording that, it feels so good. Plus it's for a good cause. So it's like already the feel goods in the room are like, everybody's just like, I don't know, it's just a room full of love, you know?
And now you got documentation, right? Now
Yeah.
you got somebody that's documented whatever song you sang, you know, that you, like you said, you normally don't perform it with My Metal Heart or haven't performed it before. And now somebody's filming that. Yeah, that's really cool.
And you only need 15 seconds of good video to put out there to help, you know, promote you. So all those people are doing it. And there's some clubs out there that say, hey, put the camera down. What are they doing? It's stupid. Stupid.
Yeah, you know, I'll be honest about that. So there are some venues that, I mean, for lack of a better word, are just dumb. You know, I used to handle booking, and it's like the band is playing at your bar, whatever band it is. You booked that band, okay? If you're not promoting the show, the venue themselves, if they're not promoting or they're not willing to hang flyers for you, if you mail them to the venue or whatever the case may be, they're not like posting on their own social medias, they're not sharing, there's nothing on their website. It's like, then don't be mad at me when there's not,
Nobody
you know, when
there.
there's only so much of a draw. We only have so much of a draw. The whole point is like we're working in tandem with you and these other bands to like everybody's successful for the night, you know? And when the venue does not cooperate with the band, it's very hurtful to the band, it's very hurtful to the success of the night. You know, because sometimes it's just the regulars that are walking in and out of those places that are the new draw, the new catch for the day. And if they don't even know what's happening, I mean, you don't know how many times I tell people that my old band was Sabatha, an all female Black Sabbath band, and I'm in my metal heart now, and they're like, "What? Where was this band?" I mean, oh my God, they're like losing their mind, that they're pissed off that they missed it, they can't go see it, you know? And it's like, I was throwing ads out there. I had promotion everywhere. I mean, I was all over it, but it's just, you know, if these venues are not helping and every channel is not helping promote each other, it gets lost. Some of the venues that like the Broken Oar puts like a list of like what's happening the whole summer.
Yeah.
Like that's extremely beneficial for everybody in the universe, right?
Posters
You know, we got
everywhere.
graduation parties and all the shit of life, right? So it's like, oh, what's my favorite band that's playing and when are they playing? And you already know like how to map out your summer if that's the venue you go to regularly or whatever, or you live near there. It's just a nice way to see what's going on. A lot of places or bands don't announce their shit until like a week before, and then they're pissed off that no one showed up to the show. I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you.
I promoted it to all my Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I mean, I post stuff all the time, and I've got, I think, something ridiculous like 2,000 friends. I'm lucky if I get 16 reactions. You know what I'm saying? Like it means
But at
nothing.
least people know, right? At least they know that you're, you know, even if they don't all show up, the fact is they've seen the ad or
Yeah,
they've seen,
yeah.
you know,
No,
which
I
is
mean,
what
it is always beneficial to share. I just mean that like individually, like any publicity is good publicity. It's just
I
knowing
don't.
that you're not always reaching what it seems like you're reaching. You know, if you have a Facebook event, it says, okay, 200 people are interested, right? 20 people show up. It's just the reality of life. It's a virtual land that it's not real. You know, it's just what it is. You know, people don't understand that live music. I mean, I know this is like before my time kind of, right? But I've obviously watched a lot of documentaries and wish I was born just slightly sooner so that the live music scene was what it was when it was, you know, when people cared and when it was like that's what you did with your life is you went to watch live music. And now as much as the Chicagoland scene is pretty booming, you know, it still is hard to get people to come out and support music. And in my vein, it's hard to get people to come out and support metal music more than anything. I mean, my family is, you know, right, Motown, classic rock, pop, country. Like that's what they listen to. Now they all love metal because I'm in metal and they support me and love me and it's exciting for them, but it's hard for them to like get all of their friends to care, right? Because it's not what their friends listen to. It's not what their friends like. So you can't always rely on what's next to you or or social media for this. Like you're hoping that the people that just come into these venues or the people that are coming for the other band see you and now want to follow you and you keep growing and growing that way.
I can't believe that posters are still a thing when a monitor costs like $200 and you can just rotate some slides through it. They make you guys, you know, do that.
Very few, Pete.
It's crazy.
Yeah, very few venues. They don't want them anymore. Sundance doesn't want them anymore. Bonnie doesn't want posters anymore. I can tell you there's very, very few. I think Toadstool Pub might be one of the few places I still actually do a poster for.
Some of the smaller venues, I think, still have, you know, like posters and that kind of thing.
Well, if you're a small venue, $200 to put up a monitor and rotate what's going on to promote yourself, and instead of relying on you and somebody else to go out there and go do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's whatever. 1990s were great. So you want to be born a little bit earlier? Okay, great. Our marketing.
I was born in 85, so I was only 5. You know, I couldn't perform in a all-female Black Sabbath band then. I mean, I could have, but it probably wouldn't have been that good.
You never know.
All-female children's band.
Yeah, they're out there.
Oh, Children of the Grave. We could call it Children of the Grave or Children of the Sea. Look at that.
So Joan Jett fan, like,
I mean,
no.
As a female, I feel like it's wrong for me to say no. right? Because she did a lot.
We're beyond that. We got a new president.
It's whatever you like. It doesn't have to be. It's not right or wrong. You could say I hate Pat Benatar, and nobody's gonna care.
I love Pat Benatar.
I was just an example.
Joan Jett vocally is not as talented, in my opinion.
Yes.
There's some songs that are great and they're iconic and they're well known, and of course I love them because I love all music, but I would not put her on a list.
Who would you put up?
Top female singer and Wilson.
Yeah.
Hands down. She's my idol. If I could ever meet or talk to or sing for anyone, it'd be her.
Same.
I'll say also, I guess like my influences are so all over the board because I like so many different things.
Throw some out there.
Okay. Well, I really love the Cranberries. That was like my favorite band when I was younger.
What's your favorite song? Don't say Zach.
R.I.P. Dolores.
No, Ode to My Family is my favorite song, but there's many. I can't really pick one. I would say like as far as the song I heard from them that kind of like taught me that maybe I might like harder music was Salvation. It's a bit more like heavy in the music, and I was like, oh, this is cool. What's this? I was younger and
Courtney Love, none of that, no Hole, no.
No, not really my vibe. That's the kind of girl that I would not hang out with.
No, give me one band you hate. One band.
Go-Go's.
One band that you hate, like it could be a girl, it could be a guy singer, it doesn't matter.
Oh
one
man,
band.
This is a very unpopular opinion.
No, it's not. It's whatever. It's what you
Bon
like.
Jovi.
Wow.
I do not like Bon Jovi.
Whoa.
For a lot of reasons. Okay, like music, sure, it's catchy, everybody knows it. Same thing like I said about Joan Jett, right? It's kind of like I feel bad saying it because they did pave the way for some other bands or some other stuff that I probably really love. But I don't get the hype, right? Okay, at their peak, he was a good-looking guy, so the girls liked him, so the guys went to the concert so they could get with the girls.
It was MTV.
MTV, yeah.
It was MTV. Absolutely.
I don't know.
Wait, are you saying Bon Jovi's not good looking now?
What?
Are you saying Bon Jovi is not good looking now?
No.
Okay.
I don't even think he was then, but that's my opinion.
Rick Springfield?
No.
All right, continue.
I never really cared so much about the music part of things because as a singer, I was always listening to the singer or trying to mock the singer, and I wasn't always like, I don't know, focused on that. But ever since I've been, playing in a band or practicing with a band, you just have a different appreciation for things. So now I care different about bands that I listen to or support or like new music I hear. I hear different things. I'm listening for different things. If I go watch a band, I could see them a million times and I'm watching like, oh, they're using that, or all the weird stuff they're doing in between that nobody's paying attention to. Now I'm watching that instead of the actual performance because I'm like, it's a different take.
Best singer all time, go.
Ann Wilson. But if we're talking about
besides Ann Wilson,
that's tough stuff, man.
How you doing?
I'll have to let me think on it as we keep going.
Bongo Mike, best singer ever.
God, that's not an easy question. I don't know. I mean, I have to almost agree that Ann Wilson is pretty damn iconic, and she can hit some
copy.
Yeah, I'm not going to copy. I'm just
Rhodesy.
You asked me the question. I don't know. I like John Anderson from Yes.
Yeah.
I like his voice. Dio's unbelievable. I mean, Dio's stratospheric type vocals.
Dickinson. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
I know
this.
Rob Halford.
But I will say this for almost my I don't know, since I was about, I don't know, maybe 13, King Diamond.
Ooh,
Hands
that's a good
down,
one.
King Diamond has the craziest vocal range probably of anybody out there. Because Merciful Fate was kind of low, growly, and then King Diamond, Elise could probably tell you what octave he's in, but
I don't know, but
he's
it's
way
higher
out.
than I can.
It's up there.
It's way out.
Yeah.
There.
I think, right, like Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey. I mean, Mariah Carey, I don't care what you like or don't like. That bitch can sing. I'm sorry. That's just crazy. Some of those songs, like those primal 90s Mariah Carey, were incredible. Incredible. And she does it live too. That's another thing. Sebastian Bach is somebody that's kind of always put in this category. And I don't know that I fully agree with that. He's got a phenomenal voice. Do not get me wrong. But recorded, phenomenal. Live, not so much.
Not so good.
Even then, like in his prime, it never carries the whole way in a song. And it says a lot about a musician or especially vocalist. Like it's a challenge that I, have every time I perform. We play sometimes for like 2.5 hours, 3 hours. It's a lot. It's a lot of pressure. I'm actually dealing with some vocal stuff right now and some backlash, partially because of it and partially because of some other stuff, but it's a lot of pressure on a vocalist to sing. Right. When you go to a concert for anybody, how long do they play? 45 minutes, an hour? Dio wasn't singing for 3 hours for us every,
90 minutes.
Right, 90 minutes tops.
You gotta tell Dan more instrumentals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Janis Joplin, Amy Winehouse.
Oh yeah, I love Janis
Winehouse, age 27. We're not 27 anymore.
I love Janis Joplin. I think that's another one that's like soul, right? Like I'm really big on passion and giving something meaning or trying to relate to something. So it's hard to relate to some songs, but for example, my first band, we did 22 Acacia Avenue by Iron Maiden.
22.
Right? It's about a prostitute, So I was like, well, how in the fuck am I relating to this? Or how am I getting into this song to care to sing this song, right? But at the end of the song, the lyrics are with the intention of basically saying to get her out of that lifestyle. And so I used that as my, momentum for the passion and the excitement and the roughness of the song. And that's what I try to do with all the songs. So like any musician that's like doing that, like Janis Joplin was doing that. Maybe she's not always hitting like the best note. It's not always that,
Yeah.
I'll give it to Bruce Dickinson. He flies the plane. He does a gig,
yeah,
and then flies the plane
that's
to the
crazy.
next destination.
I watched the thing. He just yelled at, or not just. It was probably like a year ago now, but he like yelled at an audience member for smoking at a show. They were like smoking. I don't know if it was a cigarette or weed or what it was, but he like got on the microphone in the middle of the concert, stopped the concert, and was basically like, "This is affecting my voice," and basically get the hell out of here. And they kicked the guy out. It was like a whole to do, and I was just like, "Wow, I wish I could do that when the bar's like fucking dry as shit and everybody's smoking right outside the tent." And I could be like, "Listen, y'all, this is what's up. I'm trying to sing here, but." Right. I'm lucky if I get a floor monitor that I can hear myself through. So.
Hey, I'm right there with you, Elise.
Elise, it's been a pleasure. Holy crap. I think we can get you back more on a regular basis to help level out the meathead quotient that we have on the show.
Sure. I'm actually having surgery soon on my nose. I have a deviated septum. So I will be not singing for, I don't know, a while.
Can we fill that void for you?
Yeah, you guys want to sing for My Metal Heart?
No, I want you to come on the podcast. And,
Yeah, I'll have you have like black eyes and
no, we'll
stuff.
put an emoji over your face. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'll just use those sunglasses filter next time. There we go.
Elise, what shows you got coming up?
I only have one more before my surgery. It's May 10th at the Broken Oar. It's just my metal heart for the night.
Nice.
We do have a guest singer that's coming to help support me because I said I'm having some stuff going on, and I want to belt through the ones I love and kind of let somebody else carry the rest of the night.
You want to give a shout out to your crutch?
Steve Nations.
Nation.
You may know him from
The hell of a name.
Snake. He was in the White Snake band tribute band for a while. So yeah, he's coming and I think he'll be subbing for some of the shows throughout the summer for My Metal Heart. I'm not sure. I think they have a couple of other people too. I'm not really involved in that. I did give a sign off approval on Steve though, because he's a lot of fun to watch. It's a totally different vibe than me. Totally different vibe. If you've ever seen him, he's like the traditional like hair band 80s guy, you know.
Nice.
And I'll leave it at that. Come see the show and see for yourself what that means.
Bongo Mike, what you got cooking?
Well, before I do that, because I got on a little late, I got to tell you, I went to the Sphere in Las Vegas.
Oh, boy.
Pretty damn incredible, I got to tell you.
It was packed.
What's that?
It was packed. You're saying it was packed.
It was packed, yeah, 18,000, whatever they put in the place. So I was in the pit on Thursday, and I was in the 100 section on Friday. But it's literally like being inside of a very large IMAX that surrounds you. I don't know if it's 180 degrees or whatever the hell it is, but it is a lot of screen and a lot of fun. And I saw Dead and Company over the weekend, and I sent you some clips, which probably don't do it justice. I say you just got to go do it. If there's any question, I don't care if it's the Eagles, if it's U2, whoever's doing the residency, clunk down the money, go and do it.
Hold on. Don't pay the money if they're running the movie. If it's live like you did it, pay up for the live stuff. But the movie.
Well, the movie was, did you see the U2 one?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the U2 one, it's still the graphics that they used in the show. You just don't have the live band down below, right?
Wait, you saw a live band play, though.
I saw a live band, but I know
didn't.
I
was watching a film.
Yeah, the U2 was the stuff from their performance.
Right. So the stuff what you were at will be playing in a year. Some idiot like me is going to come in and pay $75 for a good seat when it's half sold. So it's different. You got to go.
Yeah, it's different. But that anyway, I digress. The Sphere in Las Vegas, do it.
Go do it. Check the box.
Check the box. Bucket list thing for sure. As far as gigs, this Saturday afternoon, Broken Oar, 2:30 to 6, 3 hours of face melting classic rock. And my one thing I got to tell you is that is our only show this summer at Broken Oar. So if you want to catch us at the Broken Oar, yeah, that is the only one. Do just scheduling conflicts. Yeah, that's it. We might be there in September. I'm saying for the summer months, and this really isn't totally summer, right? We're still in spring, but for the next few months, I'm not going to be back there with either the Misquitos or Black Diamond. But this Saturday is the Misquitos, our one and only show for the spring, summer, whatever you want to call it. So,
and then of course, Rhodesy, he's gun for hire, baby.
He's my drummer.
Need a drummer right there, baby.
I have actually some stuff coming up this summer. So June 6th will be my debut with Renegade Wildflower up at Whiskey Jack's in Madison. Really looking forward to that. Rodney and Melissa, they're just simply amazing. They have a brand new band. So I'm really looking forward to playing with those guys. And then, like I said, Mike, it's always got me on call with the Misquitos, so I always have to be keeping an eye on that guy's set list.
It's always changing.
Yeah.
Rhodesy, you are the voice of the Styx.
I'm not sure what that means, but okay.
We'll find out in post-production. Elise, Rhodesy, Bongo Mike, thank you for coming on for another outstanding episode of the HOGPOD.
Great job, Elise.
Podcast. Elise.
Thank you all.
Seriously, Elise, I'm going to reach out to you. Get it fixed and come on and have a good time with us.
Yeah.
All right. While I'm under the board, check out my YouTube. I'm going to be adding a bunch of stuff I'm recording right now.
Hey, hold on. What? Give us some. What's the channel?
Yeah.
It's Ronnie James Diva. So YouTube.com, whatever. Ronnie James Diva. But yeah, there's going to be a collection of my live shows with My Metal Heart, Sabatha, all kinds of nonsense. So
did you already give clips to Pete yet or no?
What's your walk-up song? What if we're gonna open up the show? What should we play? What video's out there that I gotta grab?
You mean like to show like
we're gonna start this
right away?
We're gonna start the show. Everybody's gonna hear we're talking about this right now. What I
have to agree with Rhodes, probably Queen of the Reich. Just because like the opening is just me holding a note, so it's kind of it would work also for the intro.
Okay.
And that was
that one, Pete. You got it?
Yeah. I just want to say that was the song at the Metal Mayhem rehearsals.
Oh, that everybody came in the room.
There was a bunch of us outside of the actual studio, and all of a sudden she went into that note, and all of us just kind of stopped and just dropped everything and started making our way toward the rehearsal room. We couldn't believe what was coming out of that room. We were like, oh God. It was like, oh. I know, I'm sorry.
Sounds just like me, Chris.
Not even close. Not even close.
All right, Queen's Reich, no crazy train. Okay. Yes, Bongo Mike?
That's it.
Yeah,
I was going to say.
All right.
Say
new tradition to close out the show.
Golf clap?
One, two.
No, he wants a double clap like the clapper.
Go ahead, call it out, Bongo Mike.
We'll do it in 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right, he's a freaking drummer.
I know, he's off tempo.